Evening, everyone. On behalf of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and the Internal Audit Standard Board, it is my pleasure to welcome you all for today's webinar, AI-driven internal auditing. As you know, that internal audit is a field that requires a lot of human intelligence. And with the emergence of technologies like artificial intelligence, we will be able to deep dive on this internal audit methodologies. Gone are the days when we used to do sample-based audit. Now you have to review entire data set and give value addition to the client. So artificial intelligence, data analytics, and other tools will help us in the same. Due to some unforeseen circumstances, our vice chairman and chairman sir is not present. So let me first give you brief about the vice chairman sir. CA Siddhar Mupalla sir is from Southern region. He is Central Council member. He is currently Vice Chairman IASB and he is also Chairman of Public Relations Committee of ICI. Sir is actively associated with the profession by strengthening its professional standards and other fields. Sir's main expertise into audit and taxation, and he has served multiple industries as well. Apart from CA fraternity, Shar is also actively engaged in education field, and we can see that from Sir's achievements. Sir was awarded Chief Minister's Award from Andhra Pradesh government in the year 2013 and in the year 2017 by Times Icon Award. Now, let me briefly give introduction of CA Ravi Patwa sir. CA Ravi Patwa sir is Central Council member from Eastern Region and he is currently chairman of IASB. Sir is instrumental in bringing the new internal audit standards that were published last year. Though the same is not mandatory, but all the participants who have joined today, I would request all of them to go through the same for better understanding of the new standards, how they are being prepared, and I can assure you all that they are future ready with this emergence of technology like artificial intelligence, data analytics. The new standards will help us in performing our duty as internal auditor in much efficient and effective manner. So let's since sir is absent, now we are directly moving to the technical segment. So first of all, I would like to know what kind of knowledge we are going to get from today's webinar. So the topic of today's webinar is AI-driven internal auditing. So I think we will be able to understand how artificial intelligence works. Since childhood, we have studied that for computer, garbage in, garbage out. So whatever command we are giving, whatever input we are giving, based on that input, we are getting the quality of output. So I think by the end of today's webinar, we will be able to see how AI is emerging nowadays, how AI can help us as an internal auditor, whether AI can help in detecting fraud and understanding the data patterns as well. So now let me introduce our today's speaker, CAS Deepika. Ma'am is a qualified chartered accountant and DISA and CISA qualified professional. She has actively worked in different tools such as SAP, Power BI, R, programming languages, etc. She has her main expertise is into data analytics, enterprise risk management, risk-based internal audit, etc. She is also actively participated in multiple faculty and speaker initiatives. She is currently president of Institute of Internal Audit Madras chapter, and she is also regular speaker on different data and internal audit initiatives. So without wasting further time, I would like request CAS Deepika ma'am to please start the technical session.
Thank you.
Ma'am, the
Thank you.
virtual floor is all yours.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Pratik sir. So very rightly, crisply, you had summarized the context of garbage in, garbage out. Actually, that was part of my slide also. So it is a first. Thank you very much for having me here to share my knowledge and experience with the CA community. So thank you, IASP, for giving me this opportunity. So he very rightly summarized the context of the session of AI-driven internal audit. We are going to see in this session, I have broadly classified this this session into two segments. One is first the conceptual understanding of what we need to know about AI, because without knowing something, we cannot audit that. So, what are the concepts we need to know before we start using AI? Because we have a lot of tools um, in AI now, not restricted to ChatGPT. We have Claude, we have Gemini, Copilot, we have other tools which are using AI. So we have tools for making PPT, for making inventory count, for doing so many automation has happened. So we need to understand what type of concepts are involved, what type of environment in which it works, and how we are going to ensure that all this AI is having adequate control, and we are able to trace what is going in and what is coming out, to have control over whether we are having a product which has correct information, whether the data integrity is protected or not. Those things we need to understand. Next, we are going to see how we are going to use AI for audit, then auditing AI. So if our client is going to use AI, how we are going to audit AI, what are the key things that we need to consider for auditing tools which are having AI inside embedded in them. And we are going to see some use cases. These use cases are going to be purely audit driven. For our audit, what we are going to use, which tool is best for what type of work. So this is going to be the broad agenda of the session. So by default, AI is not a IA tool. Like let's say there are certain tools for audit, for GST filing. Like that, we don't have a AI tool for IA, at least on the current context in which we are living in. So there are some cybersecurity AI tools. There are some analytics tools, but not a clearly defined tool for internal audit. So how we are going to make artificial intelligence work in an internal audit environment, or how we are going to adopt this and work. So mission is smart as the data you feed it. So whatever you are going to feed in, you are going to get output. How you'll decide what you want to feed, it is going to depend on what is the output we are expecting. So first we should know what all it is capable of. Accordingly, we have to identify the input. Based on the inputs we have identified, if we are giving quality input, we will surely get quality output. There are a lot of risks in this process. So for covering this risk, we need to implement a lot of controls in this procedure to ensure that we are able to get proper data which is correct and which can be put to use. Traditionally, we had lot of data, and all this data was converted manually into based on our audit experience and the knowledge with a particular partner is bringing into the audit, we were trying to get the output. But now in the new age of model building, all the data is built into algorithms. And based on multiple algorithms and how we want a particular algorithm to work for a particular output, we are building data models. So when we finalize and build a model, what is the advantage? Once we put in a new data, it goes and fetches for patterns and processes which can go into a particular historic inference, and it will see in the current context how relevant it is, and it is going to give predictions. This is a general model building activity. So if we put this to use, now we are having generative models. Generative means Data model is there, but the data model is predicting one thing, but using natural language processing, the prediction is made into a conversation form where it is generating an output not just by fetching data, but by creating data. So, in traditional model building, there is a learning algorithm that is built in, and we are able to get a generative AI. So when we talk about AI, today I'm not going to talk only about generative AI. So generative AI is a subcomponent of AI. So overall, we have so this was, let's say, 3-4 years back, we used to talk about AI, machine learning, deep learning. This was our uh, okay, this was our gambit, which we had, let's say, 3 to 4 years back. After we got generative AI, now our AI is subsetted into generative AI and LLM, which is added. So overall, overarching principle is called artificial intelligence. It's like the macro umbrella under which we have machine learning. Machine learning will be our basic predictions like sales forecasting, inventory optimization, market basket analysis, where we are pooling multiple portfolio together for optimal output. All this will come under machine learning. So with the machine learning, if we are going to have neural networks and some decision making in place, then it's called deep learning. If our model is stable and we are able to generate output, then it is called as generative AI, where each generative AI will have a large language model, LLM, to help it use to generate output. So this is the overarching AI gambit or scope which we currently have uh, in currently available in technology, which we can put to use. So now we need to introspect and identify, are our audit techniques keeping pace with newer business models? So it is like businesses are reinventing for every substitute that comes in, for every boom that happens, every con that happens. Businesses keep reinventing themselves and come with newer business models, cutting edge technologies, and techniques for capturing market share, new marketing techniques. But are we also reinventing ourselves to match the pace in which businesses are changing? It's a very essential question that we need to ask. So, in considering these aspects, we are now looking for a lot of initiatives from CA Institute has come with even a new course on DPDP. So we are trying to reinvent ourselves into the technology space, into the cyber space, into the AI phase. We have AICA level 1, level 2. These are all to upskill ourselves and reinvent ourselves into how we can build in new technology driven practice to keep in pace with the businesses. So as we talk about generative AI and LLMs, what are the kind of AI that enterprises are now using? So initially, the level of automation, or which we called as AI, was rule based. Okay, rule based is you have defined rules A, B, C tallied, go and post this. Okay, let's say there is a credit risk model. So if he is having this much CIBIL, he is having this much salary. If he is having this much of a free income, this will be his eligible limit. These are all some rule based automation. Next, we got little AI based assistants, where we had, let's say, chatbots to have handle my FAQs and commonly asked questions to support my customers who are trying to reach out to me. And a small level of AI adoption was there, using ChatGPT for evaluating reports, writing reports, composing something, or research related activity. These are all AI assistants. Now, most of the businesses are in level 3 and level 4. That is AI agents. How they started, let's say 1 or 2 years back, is They embedded ChatGPT or LLMs into their enterprise systems, and they tried to use the generative AI output into their business processes. Okay, it was not a full-fledged business process automation, but it was leveraging AI. Like, for example, there are tools which will help you write this minutes, right? Along with almost every video conferencing tool, there is a AI minute taker. So if you call this is a AI agent. They are using a LLM model to recognize voice and minute the particular first transcript. First, it will recognize voice, it will transcript it, then it will summarize the transcript into minutes, and it is going to also send you mails to all the participants. So these are all some activities that were done by AI agents. Okay. Now, what type of agentic systems we are having is, I am not only capturing something and doing something, I can take decision based on the data and decide an output which is relevant to a particular input. Okay. So then that is called a agentic system. Okay. So from plain automation to AI assistance, now we are in the era of AI agents and agentic systems. So to discuss little further on this, what is an agentic system doing? It is context aware on what context this data is coming, on what context this request is coming. It plans on different probabilities of output that could happen in the particular given context which data is coming in. And it also helped me decide on this selection. Okay. So what are the tools that could happen here? So let's take a small example. I am doing a financial control. Okay. So I want to plan a particular decision based on different transactions that are coming in. Based on this particular budget allotted, should I approve this transaction or reject the transaction? So transactions are coming in. I have a digital tunnel where I'm having a confidence scoring model, which will decide, or which will analyze. First it will analyze what is the transaction coming in, what is the budget available, whether it is approved transaction, not approved transaction. All these are decisions that it will take, and depending on the scoring model, if the confidence is more than 95%, it will post the transaction and it will initiate payment. If the confidence is low, it will send to human for interview. Okay, let's say it is less than 95%, then it is not sure whether it should pass the transaction or not. Then it will pass to a human for review. So in all these models, okay, in all these models, we had what is called human in the loop. Okay, human in the loop, HITL. So HITL is there. But in agentic system, actually, we don't have human in the loop because it is going to be context aware. It will decide the probability and it will decide. But as a control perspective, what we need to do is, if we should not lose a business because something is having low confidence, and we don't want system to auto reject something because there is still risk of hallucination. I'm not going too much into what ChatGPT can do, what prompts we can write, what is the risk of hallucination, because I feel now almost yes. Yes, I can switch it on. Okay. So I was talking about do not want a system to decide everything. So there is risk of hallucination, there is risk of system bias, AI bias, LLM bias, all that, right? So we cannot actually totally remove the human in the loop, because of which, though we have agentic systems which are capable of doing all decisions by themselves, we need to build in human in the loop concept to ensure that all systems or all transactions which require assistance, okay, which are not uh, processed on an auto mode, are coming to a human for review and then it is getting processed. So let me take another example. Okay, so let's say there is a regulatory judgment which we need to do for AML. Okay, so there is all the transactions which are coming through a banking channel should be evaluated. There is a risk scoring. But sorry, I have a bad throat. Okay, so there is a AI risk scoring which is going to happen to identify whether a particular transaction should be flagged for AML or not. But there is always a risk of false positive. That is, the system is throwing something as a risk for AML, but it is not so, because if you go into and check the transactions, there could be some exceptions that we have not considered, because of which it is throwing as a false positive. Now, what we'll do is the AI algorithm or the agentic AI should be programmed to plan all the false positives which are low risk can be closed, okay, and whatever are high risk transactions coming up, that alone will go for alerts to humans for review. So now what is happening from a normal accounting product, Tally? Let's take Tally. Initially, when Tally came, we had to post all the entries one by one, right? Later, ERPs came. Once ERPs came, we had the concept of auto posting. That is, let's say if a transaction is coming through procurement, you have a PO, you have an invoice, automatically a journal entry will be passed in the finance module. So there will be auto posting, which is going to minimize our work, right? Once these type of auto postings came in ERP, now Tally, which was only an accounting package, came up with something called like importing entries. You have Excel, you import entries will post. You have another ERP, create a API, entries will post. So what has happened? The actual number of transactions which require manual journal entry got reduced significantly. So mundane tasks were reduced. So now these are little higher intelligent tasks where you want to have a person to decide something is high risk, low risk, whether it should pass, verify multiple transactions, verify different source systems. Now, AML, I'm showing here in a small funnel, but if you take the context, it will have multiple systems I need to verify with. I will have my KYC application. I will have some third party applications, regulatory applications where I need to check for blacklisted people or blacklisted countries, blacklisted IPs. Like that, there will be n number of systems which I need to verify. So all this now through AI and APIs and agentic AIs, which go and fetch data across system, evaluate, and it is going to take the decision. And it is going to now again further filter the decision and process the transaction. And only where it is going to have a very small, significant or less significant transactions which need not go through a human interface, still it will process, and only high critical transactions which it is skeptical about will throw for human review. So and clearly whatever auto closure is there, audit trail also we need to maintain to ensure that in a later point of time when you want to evaluate, you are able to go back and fetch. So now these are the systems that we are having in a AI environment. Okay, so agentic systems are very, very growing in a fast pace. Okay, it's growing in a very fast pace. Uh, and very soon, there is a lot of use cases and applications that are happening. And I think very soon we'll be having these agentic systems in our everyday applications. So this is an example of AI agent with human in the loop. So we have an input, we have LLM. Okay. Our agentic AI or agent, AI agent is going to go through my database, my browser, my applications, my chatbots, whatever tools which I'm going to refer and do a particular work. All this it will do, and it will have human in the loop, okay, to ensure that the final answer generated is going to be correct. And if there is an observation, until the final answer is reached, it will come back to the human in the loop, and then only it will go for the final output. So AI system or AI agents without human in the loop is a high risk model where we do not have control over what the AI is doing. So whatever AI we are implementing, we need to ensure that human in the loop is still there, and we are not having uh, any authoritative or wrong output that is impacting my application because of a AI system. Okay. So what does the human in the loop do? The human is going to help in ensuring accuracy of the model. It will add oversight and control, exactly the place where the internal auditor is also coming at. Okay. So it is going to add oversight and control, and it will help the model to stabilize further. So it is going to be a active learning for the LLM also, because every time the human is going to give a particular decision on the particular output, the model is getting trained. So there is going to be active learning for the model. So this is a very important concept which an auditor should be aware of in the current day context of AI. Okay. So now quickly let's revise our audit methodology, and we'll see in each context where we can use a AI tool. So first is, as an internal auditor, I will have an annual audit plan. So I will plan which month what I'm going to do based on different strategy. It may be audit strategy, business strategy, enterprise strategy. We need to align, and we need to have an audit plan. For arriving at the audit plan, I should know what are the processes there and what are the risks in the organization. So knowledge of client business, very, very important. So based on all this, I'm arriving at an audit plan. Then I will go for planning and kickoff. So I will arrive at scope, objective, team, budgeted hours, etc. I will do walkthroughs, where I'm understanding the business more in detail. So I will be using flowcharts, risk control matrix to document and evaluate my understanding, and also to identify key components of the particular business and what are the risks and controls that are involved in the particular business process. So when we are doing a risk-based internal audit, these are the key things which we will do in the planning phase. Then we will document the audit program, where we are going to talk about the audit procedures, who is doing what we are doing, what type of samples we have selected, how we are going to document the samples, and what type of audit execution or field work which we are doing. So we will then execute the field work, prepare the audit report, and we'll have the action plan based on the management response, and all this should be documented. This is the a quick summary of the audit methodology. So in this audit methodology, where all do you think we can use AI? If you ask me, we can use AI in all these components. This is going to help us speed our work, do our work with better clarity, better understanding, and also it is going to help in improving the audit quality. I'm not using the word audit efficiency, also I'm actually using the word audit quality. Efficiency, yes, we can arrive. Not essentially for being efficient, we need AI. Okay, even with Excel macros, we can be very efficient. But why we need to have AI is mainly because we can improve the audit quality. So generally, the risk strategies, processes, etc., depend on the audit team's experience. It does not come by default. Let's say a manufacturing company, you want to audit, the risk which we are going to audit directly depend on the audit team. Okay. If the team is aware of critical risks in purchase area, yes, team will be able to identify all the purchase frauds. If the team is not aware, they will just be executing the audit program and doing the documentation for the audit program. They may not have actual findings, right? So helping us have actual findings and have better research, the team can use AI, where they can first research on what the processes involved, what the tools involved, what the client is saying. Let's say the client is saying this is not possible in SAP, this is not possible in Oracle, this report is not available. We can now have a very concrete way of learning the tool and identifying what is possible, what is not possible. If you ask me as an IT auditor for last decade, nothing is impossible in an AI environment or in a technology environment in SAP. Okay, SAP or Oracle or Dynamics, whatever tool you name it. Uh, it's generally reluctance and what you say, um, uh, non-cooperation that comes from the client when we ask for additional data. Okay, but we cannot say it is not possible. Okay, the tool has it, the data is there. There are ways and means of getting data. There is ways and means of verifying a particular control. So all this knowledge is very easily now available with the help of our Gemini's, Copilot, and ChatGPT, etc. So mainly first for research and learning, ChatGPT and Gemini are going to be my best friends, my reference guides. We don't need too many textbooks for previously my office used to be filled with, even now the books are there, but we are not using it. We have so many books for reading SAP, Oracle, and cybersecurity and all that. Now, with Google itself, we had a reduction, but when we used to Google, we need to look at 100 different places and identify the correct link where I can have the updated material, because every software comes through versions and upgrades, right? So now with ChatGPT, all this is like very easily summarized and given to us in a platter where we can just consume it. So, and next is to our planning phase. So planning from team allocation, let's say you want to have a timeline chart, you want to have a project management, you want to put a Gantt chart for project management. All this is going to also be supported by AI. So now we can use plain LLM like ChatGPT or Copilot for doing flow charts and risk control matrix. Or there are different tools which we can explore for this. There are different AI tools which we can use for flowchart building. There are different AI tools which we can use for risk assessment. So depending on the context in which we are working on, we can choose the best tool. So I have put in a couple of slides on how we can shortlist which AI tool we can use for what context. So audit procedure and execution, here this is one critical area where essentially we don't need a generative AI tool. So generative AI tool is also good for audit execution. Let's say you want to do analytical procedure. It is not necessary I have to upload all my data to ChatGPT and then do my analytical procedure. I can use tools like Power BI, Nine, Tableau. These are also AI tools which has lot of analytical capabilities, which will help me in data processing, data cleaning, data assessment, and give insights on the data. So we cannot say Power BI is only an data visualization tool. Actually, it's an AI program with lot of AI capabilities which we can explore. Okay. Generative AI also we can use, but not essentially we have to use a generative AI. We can use the normal AI tools which are available in the market. Um, Next step, important thing is the work papers. So being a statutory auditor, at least we have more clear evidences that you can map into your working papers. But being an internal auditor, it is going to be very, very complex because you cannot keep documentation of every evidence that you are, or every data that we are evaluating in an ERP. It's going to be huge. Okay. So our documentation should establish that our work was planned and performed. So wherever we are going to use sampling, so first we have to start about how we have arrived at a particular audit scope and we have to go up to how we have arrived at an observation, how we have dropped an observation, what we have escalated. So AI is going to be very, very helpful for us to create this documentation and work papers for this audit report. So at all phases of audit, AI can be used. So first is our audit analytics or your data audit, where we are going to use AI tools. Here, as I told, we can use Power BI 9 or we can use generative AI for auditing data. So how AI is going to help me in audited data? So when I use AI, actually, you can just say identify anomalies and do risk assessment in data, and it will help you give very good assessment of the data, including areas which you wouldn't have done if you had done the analysis. But let's say you want to do a specific area, okay, where you want to evaluate critical risks. Those critical risks you can guide AI to work on specific areas, on specific audit red flags that you're having, and then you can have that documented. So now, can I upload all my data to Chat GPT or Gemini or Claude? It's a question mark. Okay. By default, there is no uh, ChatGPT will actually have your data privacy in place. It will not share any of the confidential or let's say private data. We are saying PII, right? Personally identifiable information. So it will not share any PII information in its library to any other chat. Okay. There are some inbuilt controls, but still AI has the risk of hallucination, pulling out wrong data where it is not supposed to. Okay. Since these risks are there, it is always safe to mask the data or remove the name of the organization or any personally identifiable information in whatever data we are uploading to any of the generative AI tools. So now, apart from that, if you want now agentic AI and all the agents which I was speaking about, actually run on own LLMs, which are installed in the organization, inside the organization's data center itself. But for every organization, if you want to have a own LLM, it is going to have significant infrastructure cost for managing huge infrastructure with huge capabilities, which is robust enough to uh, do the iterative process and give the generative um, output. Okay. But it is not impossible. You can have your own chat GPT in a very, very simple way where you can work with your data, and the LLM is not running in your personal desktop, but it is going to run on OpenAI's. Okay. So there are different models, but still all the models are using currently the LLM, which they are centrally used only. Like for example, Copilot you are using in a particular Office 365 tool. The Copilot is not in your laptop alone. It is actually going and working with the training data available with Copilot's repository, which is again OpenAI only. Okay. So, irrespective of whether it is your own LLM or you're using third-party LLM, it is best to maintain data confidentiality. Mainly, if it is going to be client data, be very, very critical of client confidentiality. Okay. So, that is on the generative AI part. Next is, as I mentioned, Power BI is a very, very excellent tool. It's a very nice tool where we can use for data analytics. If you do not know Power BI is a Microsoft tool, which is uh, very, very similar to Excel, but the capabilities are very scalable and it is very much better and user friendly than Excel. So mostly organizations use Power BI for data visualization, preparing board reports and audit committee presentations, etc. So what are the AI capabilities Power BI is having? If you see, it has insights, one category. So on any report, you click insights, it will tell what the report is saying. What are the insights that you can gain from a particular visual? So based on the NLP capabilities, there is automation on interpretation of reports. Next, we have very, very important, useful techniques called sentiment analysis, key phrase extraction, image detection. So what are these? These are all deep learning techniques. These are under the AI umbrella we saw, right? Machine learning, deep learning, generative AI. So these are all deep learning techniques where it can analyze an image, it can analyze text and give you sentiment analysis. It can help you search data for particular keywords, etc. So we will see some use cases for sentiment analysis in this session. Then it can help for prediction, classification, regression, forecasting. That is all my ML. Okay. Any machine learning algorithm like regression testing, random forest, then you have CART, okay, classification trees, regression trees, decision trees. All my ML related algorithms can run in Power BI. Then it has integration with R and Python, which are the key languages which are used in today's AI programming. Almost all the critical libraries for image detection, video evaluation are coming from Python and R. So we in Power BI we have integration with R and Python where we can run advanced Python libraries in Power BI using Power BI visuals. And it also has cloud integration for connecting Azure ML and other Azure frameworks. These are all some techniques which we can adopt and put to use from Power BI as a tool. So, for example, sentiment analysis I was mentioning, right? Now, how sentiment analysis works is it is reading the sentence, it is evaluating the sentiment behind the sentence and telling whether it is a positive remark or a negative remark. How it is doing, it is a great UX that I have come to expect from the software, but the new version is little slow. So there is a positive response. It's saying great UX, but the new version, which is having the great UX, is little slow. That is a negative remark. So there will be scoring where the particular algorithm, sentiment analysis algorithm, will go and evaluate text data for opinions and emotions, and it will give you ratings. And based on the ratings, you can go and evaluate the data. So I will just quickly try to show you how this works. So I have some screenshots. So to see all use cases, I'm not going to do it live because it will take more time if I have to do it live, because all these sentiment analysis, etc., need to work with little large volume of data. Few things which are simple, I will try to show live, but other things I have like prepared some screenshots to show. So if you open Power BI, you have this AI insights. One. Okay. So if you open Power BI, you have this AI insights column where you have text analysis, vision, Azure machine learning, these things. Here you have to select text analytics. Once you select this, you will get this. Before this, you should have loaded your data. Once you load your data and go to this text analytics, it will say whether you want to extract key phrases or do you want to score sentiment or detect language. You have to give score sentiment. So once you score sentiment, it will identify the sentiment behind it. So what is the data I had loaded was email extracts. So you will get email dump, your email box, right? Your email box backup will come as PST files, right? .pst files. So you can import those .pst files where you have the mail content inside your um, PST files. That is your mail content. So you import that into your Power BI. So once you import that into your Power BI and when you run the sentiment analysis on the emails, you can identify what are all the critical negative or positive mails that have happened. Let's say as part of forensics you are doing, or as part of a general internal audit evaluation, you want to understand the employee culture in an organization, you can run sentiment analysis. This is not going to be a complicated exercise. It's hardly 3 steps. Okay, you can identify what are the negative and positive comments that have come. It will come, it is filtering me the email, who is the sender, who is the transaction, why the content is caused, classified as negative. So if you see the data behind it, so this is how the data is looking. So this is the mail index, this is the mail header. Okay. What is the key phrases that Power BI is extracted? Okay. Then what is the sentiment score and what is the sentiment category? These are all auto-generated based on my selection. It's like 2 to 3 steps where I have menu-driven interface, which is going to help me arrive at the sentiment analysis. So this is one explanation. Maybe you can even do it on journal dump narrations. You can do it on your websites, any chatbot conversations, etc. So all these places we can run sentiment analysis. So now let's go into a couple of examples on generative AI. Uh, till here, any questions or any clarifications you want to discuss? Organizers, any questions will come here in the chat bot or it is separately handled in the Q&A session? Okay.
Yes, madam. We'll be handling separately, madam.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So we'll
Thanks.
go for the use cases which we wanted to discuss for today. So first, can ChatGPT work on my analytical procedures for audit? Yes, my ChatGPT can work on analytical procedures for audit. We can upload data. As I mentioned, we can mask the data, we can upload, and it will give me assessment. So let me show you how it works. And also, I will try to show you something different. So first, I'm having ChatGPT. So I'm having ChatGPT Plus license where I can upload any number of data and I can analyze. And I've been using this login for last 3 years, okay, where I'm subscribed for ChatGPT and using the same login for all my work. So the learning is much better when we use any LLM on this model where you are having a login, you are having a license if it is having licenses, and you are working on your day-to-day activities using the chatbot as your assistant. If you are using the random version without login, like incognito mode, the learning is going to be restricted and the profile the ChatGPT is having of you will be restricted, because of which the outputs may not be correct in the first time. You may have to give multiple prompts at multiple junctures where you need to uh, let's say you need to converse 5 times to get an output. If you're using the same login, having a proper profile and using it regularly, if you give one prompt, it will give correct answer. It's like having delegating work to a fresher article to delegating work to a third year article. Something very similar. You need to explain 10 steps for a fresher to get something done. But a senior will know what you're expecting, how something should be done. They just do it on instruction, right? Something very, very similar. So let me, so for paucity of time, I have actually already created the prompts also. So we can just copy paste it. So let's take this example. I have a I have a PO register. This is a little old data, but it is from SAP. We have a PO register where we have PO number, PO date, PO terms, we have PO item description. All these information are available. Okay, PO value, tax, PO unit price, all these are available. Now, let's say I want to do an analysis on how this particular data, okay, I want to identify based on PO item value, I want to identify PO price variance. That is same product from same vendor. Have I bought on multiple prices? And what is the maximum variance? So I want to find what is the maximum unit price, minimum unit price. Then I want to have another column for difference and another column for percentage of variance. Okay. And I'm instructing Power BI, sorry, I'm instructing ChatGPT, give me the output as a Excel file. So I have to be very clear in my instructions. Prompt engineering is very, very important when we are working on ChatGPT. Okay. Because ChatGPT will do or give output based on what we are asking only. Okay. So I'm just going to copy this prompt and I'm going to put it on ChatGPT. I'm going to upload this file. Okay. So it may take a couple of minutes since I'm on the plus version. It works with live data. The free version is quicker because it works with limited training model. So this is the traditional way of using ChatGPT for analytical procedure, where it will create the data, it will give you the summary of what it has done, and also it will give me a download file. So, oh, why download failed? Is my internet on? Yeah. So we got the file. It is named the file pouch. It has calculated vendor wise. But anyways, here I have the maximum price variance, but something wrong has happened. Let me check. Yeah. So anyways, this is a traditional way of doing. Anyways, I wanted to show another new way of doing it. So the best way for doing analytical procedures in ChatGPT or generative AI is actually Copilot. So traditional way, yes, ChatGPT will give multiple answers. Every time you upload, there is going to be a different answer. Let me just go with the prompt. Oh, I think this has happened because I have two sheets now. Something I worked on this sheet already. Since this file is also there, it has taken some data from that sheet also. Let's pivot only for the PO item column. ChatGPT is not that bad. Generally, it will work well only. Just I was trying something in the same file, so it got mixed up with both the sheets. The same time, just I don't want to waste time. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So this is uploading, downloading, where we are having, we have to mask the data and all that should be done. So wherever there is a variance, it is given what is the difference and what is the variance percentage also. Okay. So this is the total product units that were there and what is the maximum and minimum price. So I could have asked for a exception report also. So if I had done that, it would have given me only the transactions which had variances. But since I had asked for only the pivot, it has given me the total dump where this much of units are having price variance. Okay. So now I will show you another way for running the same analytical procedure using Copilot. So I will open this file, and so Copilot, again, there you need to have a professional license. So if your organization, you are in Office 365, the best way to include AI in your day-to-day activity will be using Copilot. So Copilot comes like an add-in to your Office 365 suite, and you can use it in all the Office 365 tools, including your presentation, Word, PPT, OneDrive, SharePoint, all the places you can use Copilot. So here now I'm going to ask one more prompt. The same prompt I'm going to give it here. So this is the prompt. I want to create a purchase price variance report. Can you pivot the data in the purchase sheet? I'm just telling because I'm in the particular sheet. Okay. By PO item column and create a column with maximum unit price, another column with minimum unit price, and find the variance between both. So Copilot will take a couple of minutes. But this couple of minutes wait is worth it. In the meantime, you can check a couple of mails and come back by the time this happens. So it has given me all the, ouch. It's still working on step 1. It has first created the page. So it is telling step 2, let me fix approach, create the report properly. So it is doing step by step where actually automatically like you build a, let's say, macro or something. Copilot works with you in the same document and it helps you fix things or work on things. That's all. See, your report is ready. So it has taken PO item, it has identified PO item is numerical and it, if with description, it will be better. So it has picked an even PO description, gave me the maximum price, minimum price. It has applied conditional formatting to identify where all there is variance, whether this report was there in my ChatGPT report also, I can check for accuracy, but mostly it's accurate only. It is there. See, it has come twice here. Huh? No, PO001. Let me check now whether the first item here is there in that report. Yeah, that is also there. So both of them have actually worked on integrity of data. It has given me a summary statistics. So if you ask me, whenever you're going to work anything with the Microsoft Office suite, then actually investing in Copilot is much better than ChatGPT. ChatGPT also has pros and cons, but when it comes to analytical procedures and automation of analytical procedures, Copilot seems to do a very, very good job. So now I'm going to ask AI to do on its own, analyze this procurement data set, identify anomalies, vendor concentration risk, duplicate invoices, unusual payment patterns. So what I'm trying to tell here, I'm trying to make AI think on its own. I don't want to give my bias, but I have given my risk areas which I want to give, but it's not only a specific output. I'm telling you go, you identify whatever you can and come back. Something like asking Copilot to go and do the field work. So what is it giving me? I have not mentioned your purchases sheet. I'm still now little skeptical whether it is going to take both the sheets, but let's see how intelligent it is. But since it is little uh, unstructured prompt. Generally, when we learn about prompt engineering in Gemini or ChatGPT, we say we have to be very, very specific and give best answer, because if you leave it to think on its own and give random answers, it hallucinates and it may give you wrong references. It may give you some wrong information. There is always risk of that in generative AI. But with Copilot, and when you have data integrated into your system, that and for analytical procedures, it is quite simple and easy for us to implement generative AI into our analytical procedure. It will not be as complicated as our uh, upload download functionality. And systems generally hallucinate less when we work with the data. When you go for too much descriptive, create observations, give risks, or give um, critical insights onto a particular subject which you are referring to, on those areas, hallucinations are higher. But when you work with data, hallucination is less. So our chat Copilot is still in level 1. So let's wait for a couple of minutes since it's working. And in the meantime, we can go to our next use case. So next use case is going to be, can you draw a flowchart with generative AI? So now again, we are going to use Copilot and Excel and try to draw a flowchart. And after that, I will introduce you to one more tool for doing the same thing. It's in step 2. Let it work. Parallelly, I'm going to just open another Excel file. So what I have done here is I want to have a procurement process flowchart. I have given here some small steps, since I can make it more complex, but since it's going to be for classroom discussion, I have made it little simple. We have a purchase requisition creation, vendor identification, RFQ, GRN, quality inspection. Then we have invoice from vendor, accounting entry, payment processing, and overall procurement process review. So these are some steps I have summarized for documenting a procurement flow of generally this is for a trading or a manufacturing organization. So what I'm going to do here is, again, I'm going to go for my Copilot, which is embedded into my Excel. And I have written my prompt here. Convert the list in column A, procurement process steps, into a business process flowchart. My procurement analysis has come. Okay. I'm going to just run this query. By the time, let me see what has come. Okay, it is starting to work. So in last 2 minutes, if you see, my procurement analysis is just coming up. It's like an RPA. I can just sit and see how my Excel sheet is automatically getting filled. But it's still working. It is on step 2. It is working, reworking. It is writing the report for me. So I think many of us also work on virtual CFOs and MIS, where we are providing insights to the clients. So with AI actually creating MISs and presenting MIS with a more visually appealing form, etc., has become very, very simple and useful. So now it is completed. So it is also giving me all the summary here, and also it has created me the Excel sheet here. So if you see your vendor concentration risk, so it is telling of the total spend, Okay, in 4 POs itself, almost 67% of my spend is coming from one vendor. So that is vendor concentration risks. So next, which vendor is having maximum? So like that, it has summarized my total spend into percentages, and 99.98 of 10 vendors, it has summarized my total procurement spends. Next analysis is duplicate or potential duplicate payments. So for what all PO items, what all PO numbers, I'm having repeat counts. So depending on the number of line items, it has summarized. But this we need to reevaluate with payment records, but based on account, it has done it. So next is activity and concentration risk, price variance analysis. So it has identified minimum maximum price. It has gone with critical items. Okay, it has taken only some 4 items. I don't know on what context it showed. Oh, it has given information. Any price variance more than 4%, they have taken for review for assessment. So it is giving me on what basis it has arrived at this also. Then payment term analysis. So what all POs I'm having, what type of payment terms. So key findings it has done. So finding is how much percentage has done on what is a criticality, risk impact recommendation. So it has also summarized 6 critical findings, and it has given me an risk analysis report. Okay. So in the meantime, I think this is a very decent report where let's say I won't say this should be forming part of my audit documentation, but this is we call it exploratory data analysis in analytics, EDA, like exploratory data analysis. When you have a data dump, let's say you have 1 lakh rows of data, and uh, you don't know where to start. You are clueless, right? You want to see the data for everything, but may, maybe you don't know where to start or where are the key risk areas which you need to go further and dig further. So we can use AI tools not just to read and understand what all I can test in a particular data set, but to ask it to analyze and give an output. So from here, I can take my key risks and go further and look for an actual anomalies and go back and see the actual data behind it and evaluate whether it is having any critical risks. So now if you see my procurement flow chart has come. Was my next use case which we wanted to work. So it is giving, this is the start, purchase requisition, creation, vendor identification, request. So it has given me a decent flow chart with arrows, with the title, everything. Uh, just one simple prompt, and I spent like 2 minutes to summarize what is the flow, and it has given me the flow chart. But is ChatGPT or Copilot best tool to draw flow chart? No. So for flowchart, we have different AI tools, and today I'm going to show a Lucid Chart, another AI-based flow charting tool. It's a flow charting tool which is having AI also embedded into the tool. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give a different process. Okay. I have actually written the sample prompt already. Generate a payroll process flowchart, including employee data setup, attendance inquiry, payroll calculation, approval, salary payment, statutory deductions. These are all the components which I need to have in the payroll process. So I give this and I'm going to upload this prompt. So this is the, what do you say? The benefits which we are reaping out of NLP, natural language processing. So it will take a couple of minutes, but I'm sure you all trust AI now and you know that it will generate. I'm showing an already generated flow chart just to ensure that there's no waste of time during the session. So if you see here, it has generated a more professional flow chart. Okay, it has identified which is coming under employee operations, HR or people ops will be maintaining employee master. employee is going to capture attendance. Then the HR manager is going to review, approve the timesheet, or the reporting manager, it's not HR manager, reporting manager is going to review and approve timesheet. If it is approved, where it is going to go. If it is not approved, the attendance is going to be frozen. And what is the key advantage of using this tool for doing it is, or a flowcharting tool for doing AI-based flowchart is, it is going to give me editable flowchart where I can add, remove a flow or change a particular activity. But if I have to use ChatGPT or Copilot for doing this, I need to regenerate the chart. So what happens when I regenerate is, you may want to modify only one area, but it will give you a whole new uh, flowchart, which something else is changed. So you have to keep prompting to modify it and give a new flowchart. So this is called human in the loop. It is done a particular activity. It is taking human inputs, and before finalization, human has a call whether this can be final or not. This is not a AI agent for clarification. Agentic AI is different. But generally, for a particular output, if a human is included in the AI process, then it is called human in the loop. It is a very popular phrase used in AI-based development projects, human in the loop. Okay. Yeah. So in page 2, what we generated, is it coming? I think it is yet to generate. It is generating. Okay. So almost all the parameters it is taken, and it has identified which department should do what in a particular color, what do you call, it is classified each category, and each table is put into a particular category, and all the functions are identified with the decision boxes. Uh, of course, when we compare it to an actual organization, we will have small modifications to be done before finalizing. But flowcharts are very critical part of audit documentation, mainly when it comes to internal auditor. As part of our process walkthroughs, risk identification process, RCM writing process, flowchart plays a very important role. Next, let's say we are taking an assignment for writing RCM or writing SOP, writing a policy. Then again, writing flowcharts is a very, or drawing flowcharts is a very critical part of the engagement. So for that, we can use this. So the tool I'm using is Lucid AI, Lucid AI. So Lucid flowcharts, if you Google, you will get the domain name is lucid.app app. So we saw how we can build a flowchart with AI. Next, like that we completed. Next, can we use ChatGPT to read and summarize documents, or let's say audit documents? Okay, again, I'm going to, what I have done is I'm going to use two tools again, and we are going to see how two different AI tools are doing this activity. For this use case evaluation, I have included one SLA between a IT vendor, okay, IT vendor and an NBFC. So NBFC is a regulated entity, and it will require more regulatory requirements in terms of compliances in the contract. So I have taken an NBFC, and this is their IT infrastructure vendor. It's a data center. So with the IT infrastructure vendor, they have a SLA. It's a 17-page document. So I have just masked the name, and I'm going to use ChatGPT for this. So I'm just going to upload this Word file. And my prompt, I have already designed my prompt. So I'm instructing ChatGPT. I have a document which is an agreement, and the agreement is of NBFC, Deposit Accepting Company. And this agreement is with its data center provider. Okay, we need to check for compliances with line with RBA regulation on NBFC deposit accepting. I'm asking it to give a highlight summary report with non-compliances tabulated bullet points. Okay. And this prompt is going into my chat GPT. So it is giving me consideration. And as I asked, it is summarizing the table. I've asked for regulatory references. Okay, that is okay. See, tabulated. In my prompt, I have included tabulate bullet points and give reference to respective RBI circulars. Why I'm giving this? Because I do not want generative AI to hallucinate and give me wrong references or wrong uh, context, wrong evaluation. Okay. See, okay, it has given me what all framework I should refer to and what are the so subcontracting risk is not mentioned. Okay, we are not mentioning about which data remains where. So SLA does not mandate cyber security of the vendor. Okay, vendor needs to notify client with 24 hours, but that is not mentioned. So these are all the deficiencies which it has highlighted. So ChatGPT is a good source for summarizing documents, but Claude is a better tool. Okay, Anthropic is the organization, like how OpenAI has ChatGPT, or Anthropic has Claude AI. So we are going to give the same prompt to Claude, and we are going to see how it is evaluating this document. Generally, for any document related reviews, Claude is also a similar chatbot and LLM like ChatGPT, but it is better put to use on document reviews. Let's see how different is the output with Claude and ChatGPT. Okay. Next, we have, by the time it comes, we can go through the next use case. Next is RCM writing, risk and control matrix writing. So, writing RCMs is one of the complicated tasks which we cannot delegate. So ChatGPT is very good where we can take the help of generative AI to identify what are the risks will be there in a particular function. This will help us to ensure that we are having exhaustive coverage of risks covered in the RCM and not simple or narrowed down risks. So for that perspective, you can use ChatGPT or Copilot to evaluate or mainly we need to identify risk. When we write a risk control matrix or risk register, when we go by a process walkthrough, our human judgment is biased. We will be able to identify only X number of risks based on the perspective in which the walkthrough was explained by the client, right? So in order to have a more wide coverage of risk, it is always better we take a knowledge bank. So in our organization, we used to maintain something called as a knowledge bank where we are summarizing various experience of various senior staff into one document, and we will consolidate that and we will check applicability of those risks in a particular organization. Like we will take the knowledge bank as the base, and for a particular client, what is the applicable risks will be a extract of the knowledge bank. We used to do this, I'm telling, like 5 6 years back. But now, yes, with the help of generative AI, we can use generative AI to give new risks in different scenarios and business functions. When different types of technology is used, what are the new risks? We can surely use that. Yes. So till it takes couple of minutes, we will make ChatGPT work. So how my prompt is going? Can you tabulate and provide risk control matrix with columns? I'm defining what all columns I want in my Excel sheet because I want my output in Excel where I can keep working on filling the correct control what the organization is having. Process, sub-process. I want COSO reference. COSO is a framework under which RCMs are generally prepared. Give the control objective, risk rating, potential control to be implemented so that I can have something to benchmark when we are doing the actual control testing. And I'm giving it is a manufacturing organization of auto components. List at least 15 risk points. Oh, sorry, I did not. So I have not give it as Excel output. So prompting is very important. Output as a Excel. So what even without Excel, it has given me all the process, sub-process. What is the COSO principle that I am evaluating this against? What is my objective of testing this area? What is the risk? What is the rating? What is the potential control? I can actually copy this table and put it into Excel also, but I have asked it to work again. So so my base for different risks that I need to evaluate for a procurement function is already listed. Let's go back to our document review. What happened to our Claude? So if you see, Claude has actually given me a compliance report itself. It's a fully formatted document, which is giving me a executive summary of what are all the observations, critical, high, medium. Then I have what are the applicable RBI circular references. And I'm having non-compliance remarks with risk rating. Okay, non-compliance area, SLA reference. Since the SLA is not having para numbering, it's giving non-present. Okay, circular reference with the column. What is the gap? Does not refer evidence in IT outsourcing policy. There's no clause confirming that external board approved this outsourcing arrangement. Okay, retention classification is not there. Bodily reporting material adverse events without specifying what timelines. So this was there in ChatGPT also. The 24-hour timeline as per RBI policy should be implemented. So if you see, this is a fully formatted proper report which I can use, which has come as output in ChatGPT, which is a Word document, which I can directly take, edit, and I can use. So when we know which tool works right for what type of transactions which we are using them for, it is more useful for us because as we explore different AI tools, we come to know this. But you can use Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini to even understand which tools are used for which type of activity and where I can use it better. So now since we are in the Word, see, it is already come. Maybe I think this formatting alone little bit, if we change, we are good to go. We can just review the file. And obviously, we should not take, we cannot make AI responsible for anything. So the responsibility of what is finally appearing in the report still exists and continues to exist with the auditor only, where we need to ensure things are reviewed and right things go into the report and there is no hallucination present in the report. These are all again our risk, but yes, we can surely take help of AI for minimizing the monotonous work that we are doing. And since we are in Word and Copilot, we can use Copilot in Word for actually formatting. This document is actually already little formatted. Maybe it's, let's say, this prompt sheet is a rough sheet which I'm having. Okay, let's see. Here I can use ChatGPT for creating content also. But creating content, yes, we have seen a lot of places, right? We can now uh, actually try to format a Word document with ChatGPT, sorry, Copilot. So it is actually, did I give some wrong prompt? Why it is giving MBA? Showing some old prompts actually it's showing. Did I give the prompt or not? So with Copilot, actually, depending on the file you are in, it gives prompt suggestions also. Data, format the data in this file. Prompt. So actually, I was working with some other prompt. So it's working on having history of the old thing. It is reworking and giving me new files for the same chat actually. This is a new chat. So I'm giving format the data in this file to have a prompt library like handout with titles. Content. Since Copilot works actually along with the particular document, it actually works with the history also. So ChatGPT also works with the history. It takes information from there. But in the current context, when I gave, it was working since I was working on creating a document using Copilot in the previous chat. It was giving me format of that document for download actually. So now, since I moved that and gave a new chat, this document is getting edited. So it is automatically working on, I have given title and content. So it has completed work. So if we have Copilot, it actually helps in formatting, working, day-to-day basis, what all we are doing in, like whatever we used to request development of a macro for today, that can be reduced, or we need not have macros for doing this. We can use Copilot to do that. So it is also telling me what all it has done. So I can decide whether I want to keep something, remove something, I can evaluate. I'm just going to give keep all. So it has given the formatting without actually changing. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So risk control matrix we completed. So next is whether I can use generative AI for stock taking. So this is a very, what you say, I'll not say completely that ChatGPT can help with my stock taking, but there are different tools which are useful, which can do drone-based image analysis, which can do video analysis, which can do image analysis, etc., to help you count inventory or verify integrity of the place, whether that can have that inventory. Those things can be done. We will see how ChatGPT works, and also we will see how some other tool can be put to use. So what I'm going to do is I have a sample image of some timber logs. Okay, you want to identify the quantity of the timber log. You can actually put it into ChatGPT and ask it to count. So based on image analytics available, it will help you count. Okay. Yeah. Can you count the number of timber logs? Can you count the number of timber logs available in the image? So generally, when you ask can, no, it may say I cannot also. Okay. But you can give more clear instructions, but just we are trial and erroring. We are learning, right? So we can try. So, but as I told, this ChatGPT will give you an answer. It will go for Python libraries, which will go and read, which are deep learning based, which will read unstructured data, which will read images, etc., and it will give output. So it's giving row one, bottom row, third row, fourth row, all together 150, 160 to 170 logs is what it is giving a best estimate. It is also telling I ran computer vision based on circular method of deduction and all that. Okay. So, but this will be an approximate thing where you can use for counting boxes, cartons, and from a stock taking perspective, you can also evaluate whether the capacity of the warehouse is adequate for particular stock or not. The warehouse is approximately 1,000 square feet, and inventory of rice is stacked up to 50 feet height. Okay. How many tons of rice this warehouse can hold? So this is a very important question every auditor should ask, whether whatever inventory in books we are having such capacity in the warehouse or not. Okay. So these type of simple maths all can be easily implemented or verified using generative AI tools. So if you are good enough, you can do the maths in mind also. But here we can use additional things like inventory of what. So rice means how much volume it is going to take. Let's say it is going to be bolts and nuts. What is the volume it's going to take? It's cotton. What type of volume it's going to take? This type of assessment is also required when we are doing assessment. So yes. So if it is loose bulk rice, you can have how much ton. Okay, if it is bagged rice, how much ton? So it has given us best working answer. If it is bulk storage, 110. If it is bagged storage, 700 to 900 tons. So it has made some approximations, some probability, but this is a good to have number. I'm not saying exactly this number should tally with our stock, But it's good to have some baseline benchmarking with us before we go for a inventory take or stock take, etc., to ensure that we know what we are looking at and what is the volumes, what is the books tell us, what does the client tell us, all that it is going to help us. So when we are talking about image recognition for inventory, we need to importantly talk about an algorithm called YOLO, okay, YOLO. So this is the um, top algorithm today used across the globe, where it can actually identify objects. It is used in traffic signals, image recognition. You would have seen a lot of videos or read articles about how our face can be detected wherever we go in China, not in India. Okay, where they are actually using AI to identify a particular person's movement and all that. In India also there are technology, but not used on general public. It is used on actual investigations and CBI cases. So the government has a lot of high-tech technology deployed for all the critical areas which they need to follow. So this is actually a vendor portal, but YOLO is the algorithm which all the uh, tools which are doing this image tracking and video tracking is using. So if we want there are a lot of inventory counting tools itself which will actually count the cartons. Those are all paid tools, but I didn't want to promote the, I mean to say, I haven't used the tool, so I didn't want to promote the tool in the session. But we need to look for a tool which is having a robust YOLO algorithm based capacity. So a particular agent which has YOLO algorithm is going to give you the most accurate inventory tracking output. So that's what I wanted to bring here. So it can identify moving objects, people, images, everything it can do. So this is actually the algorithm page. You can create an agent with this and deploy the product. So just quickly summarizing. So in audit area, there are at the planning stage where we are going to research, give, identify the plan, etc. We will be using ChatGPT Copilot. For analytics, Power BI and 9 will be our best tool. If you are going to do Excel automation, you can use Copilot here. For fraud detection, you need, let's say, pattern analysis, etc. You can use RapidMiner and Orange. But from an auditor point of view, if you want to see anomalies, Power BI and 9 and Excel are more than enough. If you want to clean data, let's say you have unstructured data like biometric information, iris information, then you can use OpenRefine as an AI tool, which it's an open source. I have used here all the open source tools. Open source means they will not use our data for something else. It is available. It mostly the apps which come like .ai, .org. .ai is not by default open source. .org is generally open source. Okay, open source is a type of software which is available, built for community, for use of community, something like that. Okay, so open refine. Then process mining, we saw Lucid Chart. One more tool is there, Miro. For inventory verification, OpenCV and YOLO. I showed you YOLO. For document review, I think we have already experimented Claude. For automation, AI based, normally UiPath is RPA based open source platform. So AI based agentic automation is also possible in UiPath. These are the different audit areas and what are the AI tools that we can put to use. So it's a general comparison between ChatGPT and Claude. So ChatGPT best for data analysis, structured outputs. Claude best for document reviews and summarizations. File handling good with mixed data, tables, Excels, files, etc. If you have very large documents, Claude is best for analysis. Like for example, let's say you want to upload a balance sheet and you want to do financial analysis. Claude is the best tool for doing that. Okay. So here there, I have given Excel tables, but let's say the table is going to be financial statements, a structured analysis of financial statements, beautiful analysis of financial statements will come in Claude. Okay. So reasoning, contextual reasoning is there, analytical reasoning is in ChatGPT. Integrations, Claude has limited integrations, ChatGPT has more wide APIs and integrations. So typical use, whenever it's data related, ChatGPT is best. Whenever it is text related, Claude is better. So with this quick summarization, I'm completing the session for today. We can take up some questions and we can conclude for the day.
Yes. Thank you very much, madam, for such an insightful and thought-provoking session on AI-driven internal auditing. Your presentation clearly highlighted how emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and advanced data analytics are transforming the internal audit profession and enabling auditors to move from traditional assurance roles towards more strategic and forward-looking risk advisory functions, including few practical relevant examples which will benefit the esteemed participants. Madam, we'll now move to the Q&A session where we'll be taking few questions from the participants. Madam, I'll do copy and paste the questions in the chat box.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Yes, madam, this is the first question. Is there any AI tool which can fill structured forms like network certificate as per our defined format, stock statement data in bank format like that?
Yeah, we can give that format and ask a Copilot to fill actually. If it is going to be in Word or Excel and you want to fill our structured format, let's say you have an audit program and you want to fill the audit program, you have a certificate format and fill the certificate, including 3CD, 3CB, you have data. It's you can use Copilot if you are having Office 365 and you want to do in that. Otherwise, we can use Claude and build the report in that. So both will work well.
Thank you. Madam, next question is there. I'll just put it. Many internal auditors may still be working with the traditional audit approaches. From a practical perspective, what could be the first step for auditors who want to start using AI or data analyst in their internal audit assignments?
Sir, if you are in a traditional mode, first thing is we need to adopt data analytics. That is the first step for an auditor to take up. So data analytics is going to be moving from sampling to full data, trying to identify exceptions, anomalies in data, and move from auditor role to advisor role in the client organization. So today auditor is seen as a, internal auditor is mainly seen as a strategic advisor. They don't want both statutory auditor and internal auditor to come up with only observations. They want the expectation from the management is also that we need to be forming part of the business and giving more strategic value add to the business. So analytics will be the first part. So Power BI and mastering Excel or doing mastering Power BI will be the first step. Next, we can go to Copilot. So Copilot will be a easy step. I think all the other things which we covered in class also is actually more relevant from an internal audit perspective. Flow charting. Actually, we have not charged any client for flow charting even before when we did not have AI tools to do this. See, now AI tools are helping in flow charting, which is actually reducing the time significantly. But even before AI tools were there, let's say 7, 8 years back also, we used to do flowchart as part of our internal audit assignment because it adds value to the client also, to us also, to actually see black and white. What is the key risk I have? Where the data is going from? What is the risk in a particular function? Okay, whether it's a manual upload or let's say it's an automated control. All this will come black and white when I have a flowchart. So bringing flow charting as part of our internal audit is also a very important step. Yes. Then
Thank
they
you.
can read the global IAS material. So Institute of Internal Auditors is there, which is also giving global guidelines on internal audit. And we have internal audit standards from ICAI. We have system audit standards, forensic audit standards. All these are also giving guidance on what are all things that we can do. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Madam, the next question is, as technology continues to reshape the audit profession, what key skills should internal auditors start developing today to remain effective and relevant in an AI-driven audit environment?
So if you ask me, nothing is beyond common sense. Okay, there is no specific certification that you need to go and get or get a degree in a university, etc. So if you take any concept, any technology, any business function, any business process, there will be only one objective. For a business, everything will be profit. For a government, it will be taxes. So we need to understand lawmakers' perspective. We need to understand businessman's perspective and just apply common sense. Why a particular technology is useful, why a particular technology cannot be put into place, why a business is taking this decision. If you just apply common sense and stay relevant, I don't think we need any specific upskilling. But on using this common sense, whenever you come to know something which you don't know, it's good to take 10-15 minutes to read about that, and it will surely help us go a long way.
Okay, thank you. Madam, the next question is, uh, when human judgments are required in critical and sensitive cases, how will AI tool help in making appropriate decisions?
Yeah, that is the whole concept of agentic systems. So all these agentic systems are actually working on complex business decisions and complex human based decisions, where it is trying to filter out whatever it can identify with, let's say, 95% confidence, 99% confidence, it is trying to automate. So from, let's say, loan onboarding process, or let's say, and it's in audit, it has not yet come. But agentic AI is used very much in the fintech, regulatory tech, insurtech. All these industries across the globe are actually adopting agentic models for their business functions.
Okay, thank you. Madam, another question is there. How can AI help in audit of the library of books?
So I haven't audited library, but yes, in library, the question is on actual library, right?
Yes, yes. I
Uh,
think that is the exact question.
okay, okay. But now all have launched digital libraries actually. But still, when you are auditing library, we need to evaluate what type of. Can you repeat the question?
How
Sorry.
can AI help in audit of the library of books? I think it is physical verification of books or like that. I think.
Okay. So when the items, everything is physical, I think they are asking what AI I can use. So first is stock taking. Surely you can use AI. Then whatever registers are maintained, we can evaluate in terms of the library card, what are the books taken out, what are the books coming in, what is the value of books, whether we have properly stored all the high value books or not. All these will be the audit critical points, if I'm not wrong. From an AI perspective, immediately I'm able to recall or think only about stock taking, but I'm sure there will be more things which can be used from an automation perspective or audit perspective.
Okay, thank you. Madam, another question is which tool can be used to work on enterprise risk management?
See, there are different ERM tools that are there in the market. Okay, for AI-based ERM tools also they are there, where you can actually have the entire workflow of the GRC built in the AI tool. So I am also aware of few tools in the market. Box File one tool is there. Risk Aware one tool is there. Then Walter Kluwer had come with a GRC tool where they have this enterprise risk management risk registers, everything put into place. Industry adoption is there in all these tools, mainly from a corporate standpoint. But practice point, I have not seen much adoption. Big Four, yes, there is a lot of adoption on tool-based GRC practice and risk management practice. But other than Big Four, it is a little less. But yes, tools are there. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Madam, next question is that, can you advise on softwares that may be used for understanding the process of companies, such as a fintech company process, which are embedded in the ERP software or the app used by those companies?
Okay. So it's a general advice, not AI related, no?
Madam, is it possible to view the, I actually can putting these questions on the chat box. Is it?
No, it is not visible for me actually.
Okay.
Chat, I'm having chat box, but it is for me to chat only, it's coming. I'm not able to see the
Okay,
Q&A or this thing. Okay. Anyways, I understood the question. So basically, to understand the walkthrough only, no, we need to actually understand five aspects. Whenever we are evaluating a business function, we need to see uh, who is doing it, when it is done, how it is done. Then very important question of audit skepticism, why it is done, okay, and what is done. So if we are able to summarize this 4W1H and understand every function, okay, who is also important, what is also important, how is also important. So who will be, let's say, access related control, okay, what will be the actual business process, how will be the important point from an auditor point of view, whether it is a automated control, manual control, is it a document, is it a mail, it is a SMS, is it a oral confirmation. So these
yes,
things we need to
yes,
understand. So if we are able to understand this and identify what is the function, who are the people involved, what are the systems involved, and if we are able to do a flow chart, then we know what are the risk areas there, like where all there is less control, but high risk transactions are getting processed. Then that is a critical audit area where I will do 100% population testing. So like this, we need to formalize our interviews. And always when we interview, we need to do it at minimum two levels. One is operational level, where we go and sit with the respective team. Always never do walkthroughs in boardrooms and discussion rooms. Always it should be only in their workplace. You need to sit along with the person, see the screen, ask him questions and get answers, so that we know what type of transactions are happening, what type of situation they are facing on a day-to-day basis. So walkthroughs or interviews should happen at the operational level. Let's say procurement manager or procurement executive level. Then one more walkthrough can happen at procurement head level. So head will have different perspective of what his function and his department is working towards, and the procurement executive will have a different aspect in which he is working. So always we have to do this at two levels, and at all levels we need to ask this 4Ws1H. So that is the uh, aspects which we need to cover. And if we are able to summarize in the flow chart, best. So once you do this, the client will never leave you. The one-time investment on this walkthroughs and flow chart is going to help you retain the client, let's say, for the next decade.
okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Madam, can you take an two, three questions? I
Yeah, we
think we
can
can.
take time available.
Yes,
Anyways, time is blocked till 7.
yes. Madam, the next question is, can audit findings be represented in infographics highlighting gaps in the process cycle?
Yes, yes, yes. It can surely be done. Infographics, simple infographics is also useful. Complex, like dashboard is also very, very useful. But some traditional boards expect numbers. But other than that, many people are receptive. Like we have presentations made in Power BI. Even in PPT, this flow chart, what I'm telling, no, flow chart based presentations are also very well received actually. So
Oh,
yes, surely we can use
yes,
people
thank you.
infographics.
Okay. Madam, the next question is, with your experience, can you please talk about the risk areas and audit program for internal audit for a software company which provides software to bank.
Okay, this is a generic question. See, actually, whenever we are talking about softwares, what will happen is the main thing is my software, okay, which is going to be capitalized in books. You will not be able to actually assess the value of software, right? So
Yes.
what happens is we need to have some technical skills to actually understand how this value is derived. So it may be based on the applications, programs, or algorithms, etc. So there is separate values attached for the algorithm also, where there are organizations across the globe which is giving insurance for the algorithms, okay, where they want to protect the algorithm like that. So these are all the technical aspects of it. From an internal audit aspect, if you see from a software company point of view, first important thing is my employee cost. So I will be looking at timesheets, attendance management, and how my output is managed, how my, let's say in a software development company, I will have what is called as a development environment, testing environment, production environment. So production environment, yes, always it is client facing, they will have a lot of controls. But at my development environment and testing environment, what are all the safeguards I'm having to ensure this product is coming only into this books and not otherwise. So these are all some key risk areas which we can order. Just 1 minute. I just opened one PPT of which is flowchart based, which I thought I'll just quickly share. See, this is a flowchart of customer onboarding process. So we have identified what are the business processes. Sales is involved, commercial head, IT is involved, customer is involved. What are the functions inside the organization? Mail, one ERP, Excel, manual. So in this, what all is manual, what all is system based, and where all we are identifying as a risk. So MOU, this is a risk point. So inside this risk point, we are having an observation. So what is the process? What is the risk? And what is our recommendation for this gap? So this is not infographic. It is plain PPT, but a flowchart based activity to show specific gaps in a particular flowchart. So this is second process. This is logistics management process. So this is next process is there. This is a complicated process. This is operations. So overall in the operations, what are all my key risk areas? And for that risk area, what is my observation? So presentation, yes, infographic, flow charts, dashboards, I think you would have seen Power BI dashboards or Tableau dashboards. Yeah, these things and all can be included.
Yes, thank you.
Hmm.
Madam, next question is there. The participant asked actually, we have two Excel file. One has services rendered with the customer name and another file has bill details with the customer name. Which tool will be best to map the invoices and service? Challenges noted in case of a multiple services for same customer. Above procedure done to identify unbilled services.
You can use this orange AI tool. It is having some reconciliation module where it will do approximate match also, since it is going to be name based. But otherwise, it's better you create a index for a customer. You have to create a mapping sheet. Okay, I'm telling. See, by default, when you go for an AI tool for an approximation, what happens is integrity of data is lost. It for verifying the output also you need some primary key, right? Otherwise, it will be like approximation. Based on approximation only, the entire audit procedure itself is happening. So best thing for when you don't have a private key is create a, sorry, I mean to say primary key. When you don't have a primary key is you have to create a mapping table. So from the customer name in the first list and customer name in the second list, you create an index number or one common name and create a mapping sheet. Then you can create relationship between the sheet one and mapping sheet two and mapping sheet. So this way you will create a three-way match sort of thing where you can use now Power Pivot or Power BI or any AI tool. After you create this index column or the primary key, then it will help you to do the reconciliation and give how many times you have invoiced one customer, what is the value, whether all customers who came in have been invoiced or not. All this you can do. But without having data integrity, if you're going to upload a data, the output also will be little messed up.
Okay, thank you. Madam, next very interesting question. Do you recommend specific controls when auditing an AI tool?
Yeah, a lot of control should be there for auditing AI tool. First is I need to look for hallucination. I need to look for human in the loop. Then there's a concept called RAD to ensure that I am not going on asking and creating questions in order for system to hallucinate. So there should be a stop mechanism. Then there should be this data privacy mechanism where inside my data library, I am identifying PII related information, not explicitly mentioned as PII. Let's say I am uploading a PAN number, but I am not saying it's a PAN number, but still it's a 10-digit number with alphanumeric. My AI should identify that as a PII information. Only then it can um look for all the local laws, whichever is required under the particular jurisdiction, and then protect that data. So if I'm having my own LLM where I'm hosting into my organization and doing all this PII encryption is a very critical control that I need to look for. So
Okay.
yeah, we need to have this control checklist also for AI. Yes.
Okay, thank you, madam. Then that was the last question. Then let us have the complete the this vote of thanks session.
Sure. Thank you.
On behalf of the Internal Audit Standards Boards of ICI, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for today's insightful webinar. First and foremost, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our eminent speaker, CA Deepika S., for delivering such an enriching session on AI-driven internal auditing. Your insights on how artificial intelligence is reshaping audit methodologies, strengthening data analytics capabilities, and enhancing risk assessment were extremely valuable for all of us. I would also like to extend our heartfelt thanks to CA Ravi Kumar Patwa, Chairman, Internal Audit Standard Board, for his continued leadership in advancing internal audit practices. Our sincere appreciation also goes to CA Sridhar Mupala, Vice Chairman, Internal Audit Standard Board. I'd also like to acknowledge CA Pratik Kumar Jain, the moderator for the earlier session, for providing an excellent overview of the webinar and introducing the speaker. Finally, I would like to thank all the participants who joined us today and actively engaged in this important discussion on the evolving role of technology and AI in internal auditing. We also appreciate the efforts of the Internal Audit Standard Board and the organizing team for successfully arranging this informative session. With this, we conclude today's webinar. Thank you everyone for joining us, and we look forward to your continued participation in future knowledge session organized by the ICI. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone. Thank you very much.